The first time I traveled alone to New York, I thought I was prepared. I had my passport, my suitcase, and years of English classes behind me. But nothing could have prepared me for that moment when I walked into the grand hotel lobby, my shoes squeaking on the marble floor, and realized I had no idea what to say. The man at the front desk looked up with a polite smile. "Good afternoon, sir. How may I assist you today?" My mouth went dry. I knew all the grammar rules, all the vocabulary lists from school, but suddenly none of that mattered. Should I say, "Good afternoon" back? Was it too formal to say, "Hello, I have a reservation"? My brain froze like a computer with too many tabs open. I, room, me, Daniel, I finally stammered. The clerk's smile didn't waver, but his eyebrows lifted slightly. "Do you have a reservation with us, sir?" That's when I understood something important. Knowing English isn't just about passing tests. It's about knowing the right words at the right moment. A simple, "Hello, I have a reservation under Daniel Taylor," would have made everything smooth and easy. Instead, I stood there feeling like I'd forgotten how to speak entirely. After that embarrassing check-in, I made two important discoveries. First, hotel staff hear all kinds of language mistakes every day, and they really don't mind. Second, a few key phrases can make all the difference between confusion and confidence. Let me tell you about my first night in that hotel. After finally getting to my room, I realized I needed more pillows. I stared at the phone for 10 minutes, rehearsing different ways to ask. "Give me pillow?" Sounded too demanding. "Can I get pillow?" Didn't feel quite right. I must have practiced 20 times before dialing housekeeping. "Hello, this is Daniel in room 512. Could I please have 2 extra pillows?" My voice shook a little, but the answer came back immediately. "Certainly, sir. We'll bring them right up." When the knock came at my door 20 minutes later, it wasn't just pillows they brought. There were chocolates on the tray, too. That small kindness showed me how much people appreciate when you try to communicate politely. Since that trip, I've stayed in hotels all over the world, and I've learned that the same basic phrases work everywhere. Whether you're in London, Sydney, or Tokyo, a friendly hello and please will open more doors than perfect grammar ever could. Now, I want to share these lessons with you. Over the next chapters, we'll go through all the phrases that will make your hotel stays easy and comfortable. You'll learn how to book a room, ask for what you need, and handle any problems that come up, all without that panicked feeling I had on my first trip. Remember, every traveler starts somewhere. My beginning was messy and awkward, but it taught me what really matters when using English in real life. It's not about speaking perfectly. It's about communicating clearly and kindly. And that's something anyone can learn, so take a deep breath and let's begin this journey together. By the time we finish, you'll be walking into hotel lobbies with confidence, ready to start your adventure the right way. After all, every great trip begins with those first few words at the front desk. After my nervous first experience checking into a hotel, I decided I would never feel that lost again. The next time I traveled, I prepared carefully. I wrote down all the phrases I might need and practiced them until they felt natural. Let me share with you what I learned about finding and booking the perfect hotel room. It all starts with that first phone call or email. I remember sitting at my kitchen table, phone in hand, staring at the hotel's number. My finger hovered over the call button. What if I forgot what to say? What if they didn't understand me? Then I took a deep breath and dialed. "Good afternoon, Grand Hotel. How may I help you?" A friendly voice answered. Suddenly, all my practice paid off. "Good afternoon," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "Do you have any available rooms for next weekend? From Friday to Sunday?" There was a brief pause as the receptionist checked. "Yes, we have several room types available. What kind of room are you looking for?" This is where many travelers get stuck. But it's actually simple once you know the basic options. I asked, "Could you tell me about your room types?" This gave me time to understand my choices without feeling rushed. The receptionist explained they had standard rooms, deluxe rooms, and suites. "What's the difference between standard and deluxe?" I asked. This is an important question because sometimes the price difference is small, but the room is much nicer. She told me the deluxe rooms were larger and had better views. "Is breakfast included in the room rate?" I asked next. This is another crucial question. Some hotels include breakfast, others charge extra. When she told me the prices, I didn't just say okay. I remembered to ask, "Do you offer any discounts for longer stays?" Sometimes just asking this simple question can save you money. After getting all the information, I said, "I'd like to book a deluxe room for those dates, please." The receptionist asked for my name and credit card details to hold the reservation. Here's something important I learned. Always ask for confirmation. "Could you please send me an email confirmation?" I requested. This way, you have proof of your booking. When I arrived at the hotel that weekend, everything went smoothly because I had all the information. The receptionist even remembered our phone conversation. Mr. Taylor, we have your deluxe room ready. Would you like a room with a city view or park view?" This was another choice I was prepared for. "Which view do you recommend?" I asked. Hotel staff often know which rooms are nicest. That stay was completely different from my first nervous experience. I felt confident because I knew what to ask and how to ask it. The best part? When I checked out, the manager complimented me on my clear communication. Since then, I've booked many hotel rooms, and each time it gets easier. The secret is knowing those key phrases that make the conversation flow naturally. You don't need perfect English. You just need the right words at the right time. Here are the phrases that have helped me most. Starting the conversation. "Do you have any rooms available for dates?" Understanding options. "What types of rooms do you have?" Comparing choices. "What's the difference between room type and room type?" Checking what's included. Is breakfast included in the price? Asking about discounts. "Do you have any special rates?" Finalizing. "I'd like to book room type for dates, please." Confirming. "Could you send me a confirmation email?" Remember, hotel staff want to help you. They hear all kinds of questions every day. The more clearly you can ask for what you need, the better they can assist you. Next time you need to book a room, try these phrases. You'll be surprised how much easier it is when you know exactly what to say. And who knows? You might even get upgraded to a nicer room just because you asked the right questions. After my first few hotel stays, I thought I had everything figured out. I could check in smoothly, ask about room types, and even negotiate prices. But then came the trip that taught me an important lesson. booking the room is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you learn how to access all the services a hotel offers. It happened in Barcelona. I arrived late at night for an important business meeting the next morning. When I got to my room, I immediately tried to connect my laptop to the Wi-Fi. Nothing happened. I assumed it was just a temporary problem, so I took a shower and tried again. Still nothing. Frustrated, I called the front desk. "Excuse me, what's the Wi-Fi password?" The reply shocked me. "I'm sorry, sir. Wi-Fi is only available in the lobby area. There's an additional charge for in-room internet access." I couldn't believe it. My important emails, my meeting preparation, all stuck because I hadn't asked one simple question: is there free Wi-Fi in the rooms? That night, I had to sit in the lobby in my pajamas trying to work while other guests walked by. Not my finest moment. Since then, I've learned to always ask about amenities before booking. Now my checklist includes: is there free Wi-Fi throughout the hotel? Does the room have a safe for valuables? Is there a gym or swimming pool? What time is breakfast served? Each of these questions has saved me from surprises. In Paris, asking about the gym helped me find a hotel with a rooftop running track. In Tokyo, inquiring about the safe meant I could leave my passport securely while exploring. But amenities aren't just about what the hotel has. They're also about what you can request. Early on, I was too shy to ask for anything extra. Then I saw another guest politely ask, "Could I possibly have an extra blanket?" The staff brought it immediately with a smile. Now I know it's completely normal to ask for things you need. "Could we have 2 more towels, please?" Would it be possible to get a wake-up call at 7 a.m.? Is there somewhere I can print some documents? The secret is in how you ask. I've found that "could I" or "would it be possible" works much better than demanding "give me" or "I want." One of my favorite discoveries has been talking to hotel staff about local recommendations. During a stay in Rome, I asked the concierge, "Where do you like to have coffee nearby?" Instead of sending me to the tourist spot across the street, he directed me to a tiny cafe down a side street where old Italian men played chess in the morning. Best espresso I've ever had. Now I always ask, "What's your favorite restaurant within walking distance?" Where would you go for authentic local food? Is there anything special happening in town this week? The answers have led me to hidden bookstores in London, jazz clubs in New Orleans, and a moonlit beach party in Thailand I would never have found on my own. Parking is another thing I learned to ask about the hard way. In San Francisco, I assumed my rental car would be fine at the hotel. When I arrived, the valet told me, "That'll be $45 per night, sir." Now I always ask, "What are the parking options and costs?" before I book. The most surprising lesson? Many hotels offer services you'd never know about unless you ask. I've gotten free city maps, ticket reservations, even cooking classes, all by simply asking, "What special services does the hotel offer?" Last month in Amsterdam, I mentioned to the front desk that it was my wife's birthday. When we returned to our room that evening, we found champagne and chocolate waiting. Small touches like this can turn a good trip into an unforgettable one. Remember, hotels want you to have a great stay. They're happy to help when you ask politely. The key is knowing what to ask for and how to ask for it. Start with the basics: Wi-Fi, breakfast, amenities. Then explore further. You'll be amazed at what's available beyond just a place to sleep. Next time you check in, try asking one extra question. Maybe about the spa or local events, or even if they have any room upgrades available. You might be pleasantly surprised by the answer. After all, the difference between an ordinary stay and an extraordinary one often comes down to knowing what to ask for. No matter how well you prepare, travel will always surprise you. I learned this the hard way in Chicago during a winter business trip. After a long flight delay, I arrived at my hotel at 2 a.m., exhausted and freezing. The receptionist tapped on her keyboard, then gave me that look, the one you never want to see. "I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor, but we don't have your reservation." My stomach dropped. Outside snow was falling heavily. All I wanted was a warm bed. And now this? I felt panic rising, but then remembered my own advice. Stay calm. Explain clearly. "That's strange," I said, keeping my voice steady. "I booked through your website 2 weeks ago. Could you check again under Daniel Taylor?" More typing. Then, here it is. "We had you down as Dan Taylor. My apologies." Just like that, crisis averted. That night taught me something valuable. Problems happen, but how you handle them makes all the difference. Since then, I've faced all kinds of hotel mishaps. In Bangkok, my room's air conditioning stopped working at midnight. Instead of getting angry, I called reception and said, "Excuse me, I'm having trouble with the AC in room 412. It's quite warm. Could someone take a look?" Within minutes, an engineer arrived. When he couldn't fix it immediately, they moved me to a better room with a view of the river. Another time in Berlin, my flight was delayed by 6 hours. I called the hotel and explained, "My flight's been delayed until 1 a.m. Will this affect my reservation?" The kind receptionist assured me, "Don't worry, Mr. Taylor. We'll hold your room. Safe travels." That simple call saved me from arriving to find my room given away. Emergencies require special phrases. Once in Mexico City, my travel partner got food poisoning. I rushed to the front desk and asked, "We need medical help quickly. Where's the nearest clinic?" The staff called a doctor who arrived within 30 minutes. Later, the manager told me they assist with medical issues often, but many guests don't know to ask. The secret I've learned: hotel staff want to help solve problems, but they need clear information. Saying, "This room is terrible," doesn't help, but explaining the shower isn't draining properly, "Could someone look at it?" gets results. Always be specific about the problem and polite in your request. Money issues can be tricky too. In Lisbon, I noticed an unexpected charge on my bill. Instead of accusing them, I said, "Excuse me, could you explain this charge? I don't remember using the minibar." Turns out it was a mistake. They removed it immediately. The concierge made calls and found me a place across town. Not ideal, but better than sleeping at the airport. The most important lesson? Always keep your confirmation emails and receipts. More than once, having that piece of paper, or the email on my phone, has resolved disputes quickly. Now I make a folder in my email just for hotel confirmations. Here's my personal rule. Assume it's a misunderstanding first. Nearly every hotel problem I've faced turned out to be a simple mistake, not malice. Starting with, "I think there might be a mistake," works better than, "This is unacceptable." Remember, hotel staff deal with problems every day. If you stay calm and explain clearly, they'll usually go out of their way to help. And sometimes handling a problem well can lead to unexpected upgrades or perks. I've received free meals, room upgrades, and even spa vouchers after polite complaints. So next time something goes wrong on your travels, take a deep breath. Think about how to explain the problem clearly. Be polite but firm. You'll be surprised how often a difficult situation can turn around with the right words and attitude. After all, the mark of a good traveler isn't avoiding problems. It's handling them with grace when they come. Looking back at my journey from that nervous first-time traveler to someone who now walks into hotels with confidence, I realize how much difference practice makes. Let me share a secret with you. Even after all my travels, I still practice hotel conversations before every trip. Just last week, I found myself standing in front of my bathroom mirror, pretending to ask for a late checkout. My cat gave me a strange look, but it works. I remember my first attempt at practicing. I wrote down all the phrases I might need on small cards and carried them everywhere. In coffee shops, I'd quietly repeat them to myself. "I'd like to book a double room, please. Could you tell me about your breakfast options?" At first it felt silly. Then one day in a real hotel, the words just came out naturally. That's when I understood. Practice turns awkward phrases into natural speech. One of my favorite ways to practice is with friends. We take turns being the guest and the hotel staff. Last month, my friend Maria played the receptionist while I asked about room service. She surprised me by throwing in unexpected questions, just like real hotel staff sometimes do. "Would you prefer a smoking or non-smoking room?" she asked, even though I'd forgotten those options exist. This kind of practice prepares you for real situations. Technology can be a great help, too. I often watch travel vloggers checking into hotels. I listen carefully to how they speak, then pause the video and repeat their phrases. YouTube has thousands of these videos. Some even show common mistakes to avoid. One vlogger taught me the difference between "I need a room," which can sound demanding, and "I'd like a room, please," much more polite. When I'm preparing for a trip, I create a little phrase notebook, not with hundreds of sentences, just the 10 to 15 most useful ones for that particular trip. For a beach vacation, I'll include questions about pool hours and towel service. For business trips, I add phrases about printing services and quiet floors. This customized approach works much better than trying to memorize everything. Here's something surprising I discovered. Hotel staff actually appreciate when you try to communicate in English, even if it's not perfect. In Tokyo last year, I messed up my sentence about wake-up calls. Instead of laughing, the receptionist gently corrected me and said, "Your English is much better than my Japanese." That moment taught me that effort matters more than perfection. Now, I want to challenge you. Next time you're in a hotel, even if it's in your own city, try using just one new phrase. Maybe ask, "Could you recommend a good restaurant nearby?" Or, "What time is checkout tomorrow?" Start small, then build up. Each successful conversation will boost your confidence. Remember my disaster in Chapter 1? Compare that to last month when I helped a German couple communicate with hotel staff in Miami. They were struggling, and I realized I knew exactly what to say. From language learner to language helper. If I can make that journey, so can you. Before we finish, here's my final tip. Don't just learn these phrases, own them. Say them out loud until they feel comfortable. Change them to suit your style. The goal isn't to sound like me or anyone else. It's to communicate clearly and confidently as yourself. So, what's your next step? Maybe practice one phrase today, or watch a hotel check-in video, or even better, book a real hotel and try out your new skills. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Your journey to confident hotel English starts with that first simple phrase, ready to begin.